Trump indicted on federal charges related to document handling and obstruction of justice. Justice Department says that it's not going to charge Pence over handling of classified documents. Trump indictment. Guys, Trump indictment, DeSantis blast weaponization of federal law enforcement. Hunter Biden's actually surrounded by nude women, drugs, and family in recently released trove of laptop photos. Man, this stuff doesn't stop, does it? President Biden dismisses malarkey FBI tip, and Texas is deploying inflatable borders along the Rio Grande and Eagle Pass. Now, you guys are well aware of Hunter Biden's laptop, right? Well, as it turns out, that thing had more than 10,000 photos in it. Now, I don't even know how to begin to describe what is in this thing, so we're going to talk about that later in today's video. Now, just a little bit of fair warning that your kids should probably not be around when we discuss this. President Joe Biden says that the FBI file that the House Oversight Committee is looking for, it doesn't prove anything, and he even asked reporters, where's the money? Hinting that he did not receive millions of dollars in bribe money in exchange for policy decisions when he was the vice president of the country. Do you guys think that there's a case to be made against the president? Now, on that note, there are plenty of things that are being made against former President Donald Trump, as the Justice Department has just charged him for the handling of classified documents. Republicans found the charge to be so incredibly biased that even Florida Governor Ron DeSantis came to Trump's defense and compared his case to the Biden families. Trump said that this was clearly election interference. Do you guys agree with Trump? Now, I do have to note that VP Mike Pence, he was not charged by the DOJ for his handling of classified documents. Meanwhile, New York is still facing a ton of problems with money and how they plan to support the illegal immigrants that come into their city. Mayor Eric Adams, he was quick to defend his sister-in-law for getting a promotion and is now reportedly to be earning $150,000 a year at the Department of Education. Do you guys think this is a little bit of nepotism, or is this just a huge coincidence? And since we talked about immigrants, Texas is now going to be deploying an inflatable border to help to curb the amount of people coming in. So let's not waste any more time, guys. Let's get right into the facts. Also, if you own a home, make sure your home is protected. Get your free home warranty quote. There's a link in the description down below this video, right below the link for the best way to invest in gold or silver. So the Justice Department says that they're not going to be charging Pence over the handling of classified documents. The department sent a letter to Pence's attorney Thursday informing his team that after investigations into the potential mishandling of classified information, no criminal charges will be sought. A Justice Department official confirmed the authenticity of the letter, which was obtained by the Associated Press. Now, the news comes out just days before Pence is set to launch his campaign for the Republican nomination for president in Iowa on Wednesday. Now, this is a race that's going to put him in direct competition with his previous boss, former President Donald Trump. No evidence has emerged to suggest that Pence intentionally hid documents from the government or even knew that they were in his home. So there was never an expectation that he would even face charges. But the decision and the timing were nonetheless welcome news for the former vice president and, of course, his political team as he prepares to enter the crowded GOP primary field and contrast himself against Trump. Attorney Merrick Garland had named a special counsel to oversee the Justice Department's investigation into the discovery of hundreds of documents with classified markings at Trump's Mar-a-Lago home just 3 days after the former president formally launched his 2024 campaign, an acknowledgement of the high political stakes. So, is Pence innocent? Did he really have nothing to do with this? Or did he have everything to hide? So I'm sure you guys have heard Trump indicted on federal charges related to document handling and obstruction of justice. You know, I was kind of thinking that this thing might just kind of blow over, but no, I think that things are now just getting started. Former President Donald Trump has been indicted on federal charges that emerged out of special counsel Jack Smith's months-long investigation. Trump is listed in the indictment, which has not been unsealed, as a criminal defendant charged with at least 7 counts, including obstruction of justice, conspiracy, and illegal retention of classified governmental materials. He's been ordered to appear in federal court in Miami on Tuesday. Trump himself announced the indictment on his social media platform, Truth Social. Sources say that federal prosecutors informed Trump's attorneys of the indictment a short time before he revealed it. Quote, "The corrupt Biden administration has informed my attorneys that I have been indicted, seemingly over the boxes hoax, even though Joe Biden has 1,850 boxes at the University of Delaware, additional boxes in Chinatown, DC, with even more boxes at the University of Pennsylvania, and documents strewn all over his garage floor where he parks his Corvette, and which is secured only by a garage door that's paper thin." I mean, when Trump paints a picture like this, it sure does seem like Biden has a lot more on him than the Attorney General has on former President Donald Trump. So while the big push push to arrest and throw Trump in jail compared to the seemingly not so important investigation going on with actual President Biden. Quote, I never thought it was possible that such a thing could happen to a former president of the United States who received far more votes than any sitting president in the history of our country and is currently leading by far all candidates, both Democrat and Republican, in the polls of the 2024 presidential election. This is what Trump posted on Truth Social. I am an innocent man. Now, shockingly, Ron DeSantis actually had the back of President Trump. Florida Governor Ron DeSantis blasted the weaponization of federal law enforcement in response to the news that former President Trump had been indicted, but he avoided an outright defense of the chief 2024 GOP rival. Quote, the weaponization of federal law enforcement represents a moral threat to a free society. We have for years witnessed an uneven application of the law depending upon political affliction. Yeah, well, right now it certainly looks like if you're a Republican, the law is a little bit more harsh on you. Certainly if you're a Republican presidential GOP nominee. So speaking of Biden, Hunter Biden is surrounded by nude women, drugs, and family in recently released trove of laptop photos. The nearly 10,000 image catalog includes perverse mixes of family photos and naked snapshots of himself in hotel rooms surrounded by drug paraphernalia and scantily clad women. Sounds like a party, doesn't it? How are these photos mixed in with his family pictures? Like, how is he setting up his folder structure? I mean, this is just kind of weird. Several pictures capture the nude 53-year-old Hunter alongside a tattooed woman in bedazzled mesh lingerie. Did any of you guys see these photos? I'm just curious. Now, another one shows him apparently naked behind a hotel desk with two mystery women who were undressed and another laying in bed chatting in the background. Now, I must say, he's got a lot going on at 53, 54 years old, huh? And another, Biden, who admitted to struggling for years with an addiction to crack cocaine, holds up a marijuana vape. Now, obviously, I cannot show you guys these photos here on YouTube. Now, if you guys really want to see these photos, definitely hit me up in the comment section down below. But that Biden guy, he is quite the nudist, isn't he? So Biden dismisses malarkey FBI tip claiming he played a role in Burisma bribe scheme. Congressional Republicans who read an FBI informant file accusing President Biden of a role in a $5 million bribery scheme said Thursday that it involved the Ukrainian company Burisma, but Biden tauntingly retorted, where's the money? Basically alluding to the fact that he hasn't received any money, you can't prove it, yada, yada, yada. He said, quote, it's a bunch of malarkey. I don't know anybody personally in real life who actually uses the word malarkey. I heard it in some movie back in the day, but I guess Biden's the only guy. It's unclear which company Burisma considered buying, but the Ukrainian firm bought into a joint venture with American company Cub Energy in 2016 by acquiring a Canadian company's shares. Hunter Biden earned up to $1 million per year from 2014 to 2019 to serve on the board of Burisma, despite having no relevant industry experience. Sounds like Biden was just sitting around collecting a check without really doing much, or at least certainly not adding a whole lot of value based on what we're hearing. $1 million a year, huh? You know, that's about $83,000 per month. What would you guys do with $83,000 a month in income? Then Vice President Joe Biden met with a Burisma executive at a DC diner or DC dinner in April 2015, with the meal forming the basis of the Post's explosive first report on Hunter's abandoned laptop. Who knew that all of this information would be exposed all on Biden's laptop that allegedly wasn't his to begin with? New York City Mayor Eric Adams defends sister-in-law following major promotion to a $150,000 per year job at the Department of Education. Sharon Adams was promoted in March to the role of Strategic Initiative Specialist in New York City's DOE administration shortly after her husband Bernard stepped down from his controversial post as the head of the mayor's security detail. Adams is one of a string of Hisner's family members or longtime associates who have scored high-paying gigs in a city government following the 2021 election, hiring decisions that have resulted in frequent criticism and controversy for City Hall. So, for example, Hisner's longtime partner, Tracy Collins, also scored a major promotion at the DOE last year when she became the $222,000 per year senior advisor to the Deputy Chancellor Desmond Blackburn. Now, it certainly sounds like friends and close colleagues, relatives to Mayor Eric Adams seem to be landing some pretty hefty paying salary jobs. Is this a way for the mayor to funnel taxpayer dollars into into family members and friends' pockets? What do you guys think about that? In Texas, to deploy inflatable border along the Rio Grande River in Eagle Pass, Texas Governor Greg Abbott announced that an inflatable border was being installed along the Mexico-Texas border on Thursday to make it more difficult for illegal immigrants to enter the country. The floating barriers are expected to deter illegal crossings at hotspots along the Rio Grande River, and the first 1,000 feet will be placed near Eagle Pass. Now, according to a press release from Abbott's office, the strategy of placing an inflatable barrier along the border will proactively prevent illegal crossings between ports of entry by making it more difficult to cross the Rio Grande and reach the Texas side of the southern border, end quote. It sure sounds like the Mexico-Texas border situation is a big issue. Does Biden and Kamala Harris really have things under control? Hit me up in the comment section down below. Well, guys, I know we covered a lot in today's video. Drop me some comments down below. Let me know what was the most interesting story that we talked about today. Right now, you should see two videos above my head, both here and here. Go ahead and click on these videos right now and check those out right now. Also, if you guys are new to the channel, definitely subscribe to the channel. Drop a huge like for the video. I really appreciate you guys hanging out with me today, and I'm gonna catch you guys on the next one. Y'all be safe.